Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down how creators are using nothing but free AI tools right on their phones to build up these absolutely massive YouTube channels completely from scratch.
So let's just start with this number, 60 million. That's not just some random big number. That's how many views a single video got using the exact method we're about to dive into. This isn't just a theory. It's a strategy that's proven to work on a huge scale right now.
So you're probably asking, what kind of video actually gets 60 million views? Well, it's stories like this one. I know, it sounds a little strange, but it's the beginning of a story that went massively viral. And here's the really wild part. The story, the visuals, even the voice, it was all created with AI.
And look, this isn't just some one-hit wonder. Take a look at this channel, DP Poonam Vlogs. Now, what's so interesting is that they used to make just regular vlogs, but then they switched to this AI style, and their channel just completely exploded. We're talking over 1.3 million subscribers with just 46 videos. Incredible. Okay, so how is this even possible? How can you get these kinds of results? Well, it actually all comes down to a really simple, repeatable, three-part formula. And the best part? You don't need a budget, and you can do the whole thing right from your phone. So let's break it down. We're going to walk through each piece of this formula. First up, how to craft the story using AI. Then, second, how to generate and animate all the visuals. And finally, number 3, how to put it all together into a final video that's ready to share. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Step 1 is the absolute foundation of your video, coming up with a compelling story. And for this, we're going to turn to a free AI writer, something like ChatGPT.
So the whole method here relies on this really clever two-prompt system. You start with a simple prompt, asking for a complete short story. In this case, it was in Hindi, which is a massive language for these kinds of viral videos. Then, once you have that story, you use a second prompt. You actually feed that story right back into the AI and ask it to break it all down into individual descriptive scenes. And just like that, you've got the perfect shot list for your visuals.
Okay, so we've got our script broken down into these nice, neat scenes. Now for the really fun part. Let's take those text prompts and turn them into the actual animated clips that are going to make up our video. And believe it or not, you only need 2 free apps on your phone to pull this off. The first one is Leonardo.ai, which you'll use to create some really high-quality images from your scene descriptions. The second is an app called Go, which then takes those static images and, well, brings them to life. Now, when you're inside Leonardo.ai, there are a couple of super important settings you got to pay attention to. First, make sure you pick the right aspect ratio for whatever video you're making. And crucially, you have to make sure the feature called Prompt Enhance is turned off. Oh, and here's a little pro tip for you. If you run out of free credits, just log in with a different Gmail account and you'll get a fresh batch. Okay, this next part is maybe the most important trick in this whole process. So listen up. After you generate your image in Leonardo, you bring it into the Go app to animate it. To get the animation just right, you have to use the exact same text prompt that you used to create the image in the first place. This is what keeps the animation perfectly consistent with the visual. It's a game changer. All right, we're on the home stretch. At this point, we have all of our individual animated clips ready to go. The final step is just to put it all together into a finished video, polish it up with the voiceover, and add some transitions. Now for the voiceover, you can use this incredibly powerful free tool called Google AI Studio. But there's a little trick to finding it. The source material is super specific here. When you search for it, you have to ignore the first 2 links and click on the third result. That'll take you straight to the free dashboard where you can find the text-to-speech tool you need. And the editing itself? It's actually super simple, especially with free apps like VN or KindMaster. You just import all those animated clips you made, add the AI voiceover track, and then really your main job is just to cut and arrange the visuals so they sync up perfectly with the story being told in the audio. Okay, but this brings us to a really, really important point. The AI voice is great. It works, but the original creator who came up with this method, they highly recommend using your own voice. Their advice is pretty clear. If you use AI for the visuals but you record your own voice, they claim your channel has a 100% chance of getting monetized on YouTube. That's a huge deal. And that's it. That is the entire formula. A complete, totally free, mobile-first workflow to create content that has a real shot at going viral. AI can give you the story, the art, and even the voice. It really does level the playing field for creators everywhere, which leaves just one last question for you.